Greetings and a warm welcome to you all. Hey, thanks for joining me, everyone. This is the Sagittarius October 2020 tarot reading. Yes, October. The year has finally jumped into hyperspeed because I think a lot of us feel as if the earlier part of the year was just crawling along at a snail's pace like Groundhog Day. Yes, we're still in Groundhog Day a little bit, but I think we are moving through some of the, heavy or tense energies of 2020, and that will give us a little bit of liberation and freedom as we move into 2021. But there is a big but involved. We're not through the woods yet, and the planets haven't decided to give us a wonderful alignment yet. Yesterday was the day Mars moved into retrograde, and it will be there until November the 14th, but it will also be in action quite highly until February of next year. So we are still expecting really rather turbulent energies around the planet. And you might see this physically in things such as fires and fiery situations. So I don't think, unfortunately, we're going to go through a period from now until early next year being without having tempestuous energies around at the physical, emotional, global, interconnected and personal level. So I think it's just something to be aware of for everyone. If we are a little bit more open to understanding that these are tense times, then we are responsible for our own way we handle the situations that come up in our life. And we can also remember there's also a silver lining to every cloud. So somewhere, if there is something traumatic going on for you or around you or with people you know, there is good that eventually comes out of it at some point. More often than not, it's a learning curve. We learn from things that are difficult to process and difficult to go through. So it makes us tougher, stronger. We become more useful in terms of understanding situations and knowing how to prepare for them. But let's have a look at some of the other things. Pluto stations direct in Capricorn on October the 4th. Mercury stations retrograde on the 13th. There's a new moon in Libra on the 16th. The Sun enters Scorpio on the 22nd. And of course there's Halloween at the end of October as well. Now there's a saying that some of the astrologers are using, and it's nourish the soul rather than the ego at this point. So focus on the inner being of your health. And we're going to come across some really big egoistic things that are happening on the planet. So if we just nourish our souls, we will be feeding ourselves at many different levels. So Sagittarius, before we start your reading, I did some intuitive work for you, and you got the words to clear out the clutter. Now, I'm not sure what that will mean for you personally. For some of you, this could mean like going through your house or your belongings and getting rid of things that no longer are of any use. You may have been keeping clothes that might have served their use-by date. They might not fit anymore, or they might be more useful to someone else. So passing them on, giving them away to a charity or something along those lines. There could be other things in your home, furniture or kitchen utensils or things in your garage that you might want to declutter. And when we declutter our physical world in terms of our homes or businesses, or I was going to say even friendships, we make room for newer energies and vibrations to come in. We raise the frequency by decluttering. I think feng shui in the Chinese philosophy is very much about no clutter, having minimalistic things around. So you guys have got to clear out the clutter. And of course, this could be clutter of the mind. It could be clutter of relationships that are not serving a purpose either. The other part that you also got was believe in yourself. So two quite strong messages here about maybe regaining clarity or regaining strength or regaining a clearness to something. You also got the number 28, which breaks down to a number 10, which breaks down to a number 1, which can be about new beginnings. So with that, let us see what's in store for you guys with the cards. This is a deck that uses the chakra energy. It is a full tarot, so it also uses colour as part of the process of the energy. Let's have a look and see what's come out for you. The Four of Swords. I'm not sure which way that came out, so I'm just going to turn it up the right way. This is a card that is often, interestingly enough, about decluttering the mind. So going away on a break, taking time out, de-stressing, thinking about situations around you that might need some sort of clear thinking, or re-evaluating a certain situation as well. Now, it can also mean going away for a break, like a weekend, to a retreat somewhere, and sometimes going with someone else, and sometimes this can be a very intimate and special weekend away, or a getaway. Now, I also see the Four of Swords sometimes as like a minor operation, something that can be already booked in or being scheduled for. Sometimes it's for things like beauty practices, but other times it can be something like, which is not very nice, but something like a colonoscopy, or getting moles checked, or something along those lines. The card often does talk about mental stress and needing to take some time out, and feeling as though you might be feeling under the pressure a little bit. So just remember, this is a very intense year for so many people, and a lot of us will be feeling a little bit of stress without understanding what's actually going on in the background. So being at one with nature, spending some time outdoors, taking time for meditation, eating the right foods, and fueling your body with good healthy water are always good practices, and it's a good place to start. We notice the edge of this card is the green, which is actually the heart colour, the heart chakra area of the body. So there might be something going on in there for some of you. It may be related to physical heart pain, or a physical heart checkup that you are having done. And it might also relate to emotional energies around the heart, so to do often with relationships. Let's see what else is coming for Sagittarius. Another green card. This is number 3, the Empress. Now, she also is very much about the outdoors and being at one with nature. And that is also what the colour green is often referred to. So green is a very healing and gentle and nurturing colour. It might do you a real good service to wear green, or eat green foods, or spend time outdoors. So the Empress in this card is offering this beautiful golden chalice to the other person who's sitting there. The Empress is known as, if you like, a giver of fertility in many ways. She is a very fertile person, because she manages to sow seeds and get them to grow and into the realm of harvest. So sometimes this can be new ideas coming forward, or it can be new concepts, or new relationships, or new health modalities, like turning the corner and walking into better health. And it may be for some of you after having something like a surgery or an operation, or taking time out and de-stressing and re-energizing your body, and then you might feel more healthy. For some of you, this Empress may be potentially a new person coming into your life, and sometimes this can be a romantic partner. So this Empress may be tied up to this getaway that's over here, one way or another. She can also indicate conception, fertility, and pregnancies, as well as overall goodness in health, I think, too. She often can relate to hormones, so keeping hormones in balance as well might be something to think about. Okay, the Magician. Beautiful card to get, one of my all-time favorites, number 1 in the deck. Now, of course, I mentioned to you just before that you received the number 28, which breaks down to 10, which breaks down to 1. And 1 is new beginnings, but in this case, it is the Magician. Now, when the Magician is here, it can be like casting a spell, like alchemy, across any area of your life where something is turning into something else, a process, if you like, of evolution. And in fact, that was something I should have said earlier, because I got the message that some of you would be going through like seeing a process evolve in your life, where it starts off as something, and it's almost as if it not mutates, but I can't think of a better word than that. It's almost as if it mutates into something completely different by the time it gets to the end stage of its cycle. So some of you might be starting a business, or you've got an idea or a concept or even a friendship that starts off as one thing, and by the time it gets to the end of its transitory period, it morphs into something else. Now, I don't think this is a bad thing. It morphs into something that surprises you and turns out to be more useful than you would have anticipated. Now, this is exactly what the magician does as well. So there's magic in the air for you, and it could be in your financial realm, relationships, it could be in your career, or ideas or concepts or passions, or any aspect of life, even spirituality, your emotions, your health, anything. So lovely card to get, guys. Notice it's the orange colour. Now that is the sacral area of the body. Okay, so we've had a few pop out here. I suppose technically we could just use them all. That is the Six of Wands. This is the victory card, meaning success at something. Again, another really helpful, supportive, good card. Wow, another six. The Six of Coins. This is the cycle of giving and take, and it's kind of like the evolution of life. Sometimes you're in the position to be able to give something to people, and when you do that, inevitably it comes back one way or another. Not always the same as you give it, but somewhere in your life it is given back to you in a form of gratuity from the cosmos or from the universe. Sometimes with this Six of Coins, you are the person receiving something. Now this can be help or support from other people, and it can be unexpected. It can be a financial dividend that's given to you or loaned to you. It may help you out in a time of need, or it can be seen as a supplement or a gift or an inheritance, something along those lines as well. So whichever realm you fall into, the category is still great, because it forms like the number 8 in this card, and number 8 is the eternal cycle of life where it never ends. It's giving and receiving, giving and receiving. And when we are in that state, then life flows and so much more happens for us. The Five of Wands sometimes means there can be a little bit of competition around, especially in our career sector or possibly even in our friendship sector. This card can turn up if you're going for a job interview, then you're not the only one. There are many other people, possibly as many as 5, that they're considering for the role, and these 5 other people are just as good as yourself. As an indicator of the card, it often has a message to put your best foot forward and make sure that you shine above the rest, especially if you are wanting something like a promotion or a new job, or you're wanting to fit in with a group of people as well. They need to be able to see who you are and what you stand for and what you have to offer, most importantly. Sometimes you can find that when this card is around, you may feel that other people are a little bit aggressive, or they're not fitting in with your ideals or your values, and you can feel as if your head is butting up against a wall a little bit. So there can be a wee bit of frustration in this card when it turns up. But you've got so many other positive cards that have come out that this is the only one at this point in time that's suggesting like a frustration or a stalling process, or feeling as though you're one of many that are on the gravy train trying to get to the end position. The Three of Cups is a lovely card. This is about the sisterhood of life and having friends or companions in your life that have your back. They could be great friends, or they could be family members or your children or other siblings. It's the card of community, so it often talks about doing things in a group or with other people. And to be honest, the sixes are kind of that way as well. They usually have other people involved. So I feel as if there is this conglomeration of people for you in the month of October. You're either associating with other people or mixing with them, or somehow they play a role in the activities you are doing or undertaking. So just remember to be grateful for the people in your life, and always thank them if they do offer you assistance in any way, or if they are part of the picture of your successful journey as you continue on. Sometimes with this Three of Cup, it is about reuniting with people you haven't seen for a while, or going away with something like 3 ladies for a weekend, and you've had the weekend retreat up here, and you also had the Empress up here. So there might be a get together for some of you in this month of October where you go away and reminisce, or connect again with people you haven't seen in a while. It can also be attending things like weddings and celebrations, 21sts, engagements, and events like that too. So where else were we? We've got one left. The Temperance card, another major arcana. So you had 3 major arcanas, and they're really quite positive ones. Temperance does talk to us a little bit about balance in our life. And remember I said to you that being outdoors and putting plenty of good water in your body might be really beneficial. So this card often talks to me about the need for not necessarily detoxing, but the need to make sure that we are putting the right things in our body and to increase your amount of water. Some of you may have suffered from dehydration, especially if you're living in the northern hemisphere and it's particularly hot in places up there at the moment. Some of you may need to literally take more water on board. This card is often depicted in the traditional tarot with her with one foot in the water, and she's outside in this beautiful grassy area with rivers and hills in the background. And those scenes or type of vibrational energies may also play a role for peacefulness, for somewhere that you take time to spend in the outdoors in areas like that. Temperance also talks about balancing our emotions and our thoughts and projections around people, situations, ideas, and directions. Now, if you notice, she's got quite a bold sort of orangey, cerise border to the edge, which is the sacral chakra area. So she also is conjuring up concepts, ideas, and inspiration within this card too. So you had a pretty good colour mix that came through with the cards. You've got a little bit of everything going on there. So I feel as though the chakra balance is actually quite good for you guys. There seems to be some quite good flow throughout your body. It could be meaning that. However, on the same thing, it could be meaning that you all, or some of you rather, need to unblock the whole of your body. If you're feeling tense or stuck, or if things aren't working for you, or ideas aren't happening, or the things that you're wanting to manifest in your life aren't eventuating, then you need to unblock those chakra systems, and you need to feel more flow, and you need to feel more creative energy. And as I said right from the beginning, spending time outdoors, meditation, relaxation, rehydrating the body, all of those can be really, really helpful. So we will move into the next stage of the reading, and we will use these cards. These are the Energy Oracle deck, so not a tarot deck, but an Oracle deck. Now we've had a few jump out. We perhaps will just take these ones. Okay, so the first one is the Temple Path. This is illumination of spiritual understanding, and the Temple Path comes to us when we reach a point in life where we seem to be gaining more wisdom or insight or clarity. Now, there were a couple of cards in this last lot that came out that could have indicated that, including the Magician and even the Four of Swords, because these are times. This Four of Swords, if you look closely, he is in a temple and he is lying down, almost as if he is able to consider something or able to experience a meditational high or an awareness or an understanding. So it's transferring the energies over here to this Temple Path message. So there's a possibility that for some of you, you may receive ideas or thoughts or contemplation or a higher awareness or a higher connection to your higher self or the cosmos or celestial energies. So there's that possibility, especially when the Temple Path is around. So illumination. Oh, very nice. Caring connections. Now this is almost like the Lovers card in the traditional tarot. And we sort of saw that we had some of this going on, especially with the Empress card, when I said that she is offering love with this chalice. and she has harmony and balance, and she's very fertile, and she's very warm and giving and nurturing. It's the same as this, and even this sort of greeny golden energy that's flowing between both cards seems to be coming through. Some of you have these caring connections, not just with a romantic partner, but we've seen it with this card, with the Three of Cups, the beautiful friends you may have in your life or family members, and as well as in the Six of Coins with the giving and taking cycles of life. But for others of you, this may be a very caring, special, romantic relationship that is either on the horizon for you, as in a new partnership coming, or it is one that is already established and being rebooted or reconnected or re-energized or coming into focus one way or another. So if you wanted any healing to take place around a relationship that you hold very dear to you, I feel that that's a possibility at this time for you all as well. Oh, lovely. The fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel, he is the throat chakra angel. So he's coming in to be with you for the month, and you can call on his energies at any time. All of the angelic presences are beautiful, and it's lovely to receive them in a reading. With him in the throat chakra, he can heal those areas of the body, so in and around the throat and up through the head and the sinuses, the ears, and down into the chest area, especially lungs and the heart also. But he can help with speaking your truth and being able to be heard. Now, we talked a little bit about that with the five of wands that came when I said to you that sometimes it's difficult for people to hear you and for you to be heard. And notice it has the blue border around it, which is about communication and speaking as well. So communication isn't just speaking, it is also writing or receiving things that are written. It can be about documents too. So if you feel the need to have clarification of anything you are trying to say in the month of October, or anything that you are wanting people to hear you say, or that you want to hear clearly, bring Archangel Gabriel with you and have him as an initiating energy in discussions or meetings with people, whether it's business related or personal. Man holding a coin, I don't know why, but well, perhaps I do. We think of him as being an earth sign energy, but I often look at him and think he's more Libran or Aquarian, and I'm not sure why, because the coins technically we would think of as an earth sign. So this person may come into your life. He may be someone who offers you money, which is what we've talked about before with this with this card as well. So I definitely feel some of you have this going on in this month of October where money comes in. Look, it may not be winning lotto per se. It may be something that is gifted or granted or loaned or reevaluated, or an increase in a pay rise, or a promotion within a job, or for those of you who are unemployed, it may even be getting a job, okay? So there's many different levels at which this can play out in, but there is a positive sign here within your potential financial sector. Some of you, he may be someone who you go to, like a bank manager, for a loan or something along those lines. He seems fairly strong. He has quite a strong presence, so perhaps something he says or does has a directional impact on what is going on in or around your finances in the month of October. So with that, we will finish there for that bunch of cards, and we will finish your reading off with another chakra deck, which is one of my favorites. And this card jumped out. You've had a lot of jumpers, and so I'm more inclined to just take them when they're wanting to do that. This is the mind, and it's called openness, flexibility, imagination, and learning. So it seems to be that it's activating in the third chakra area, and that is the purpley blue. And you have had a few of those out if we gather them all together. All of this colour palette are all where this is being activated. They all work really well in together. So somewhere you're being asked to apply your flexibility, imagination, and learning concepts around these particular areas of whatever is happening. The wands here, the two wands that you've got, can be career related. They can be about your job or something you're passionate about. So some of you might be making or constructing something or designing something as well that you have, you know, been not battling with, but may have come up with some brick walls against. But you remember you've had the victory card. So I do see success around some sort of projects or operations or systems or possibly employment or career. And this card is also suggesting utilize openness, flexibility, imagination, and learning. So with that, I can read to you. Oh, and what is 38? 38 is 11. So the number 11, let me just read the words here. Ancient wisdom keepers knew that the best way to harvest the infinite power of the mind was to keep it focused upon the highest aspects of truth. Through mantras, prayers, songs, and communions, they trained their minds to deliver clear visions to the infinite wellspring of their subconscious. In this way, they created worlds. Our mind can be our greatest ally and our most challenging foe. With our mind, we focus the lens of our being, and with that focus, energy grows into our reality. Close your eyes for a moment and capture a snapshot of your thoughts. Are they holding visions of your highest potential, or are they spiraling in the other direction? It is time to sharpen your awareness of the activity of your mind and to call upon this incredible resource to be a true and trusted guide. Train your mind to focus on the positive aspects of life and to remain open to new concepts and ideas. Whether you enroll in a class, learn a new skill, or enter a new meditation practice, now is a great time to expand your knowledge and enrich your ability to harness your true mental power. Part of developing the gift of our mind is to learn how to focus while remaining open to new ideas and higher ways of thinking. We must resist the temptation to get locked down to what we think we know. Be willing to let go of rigid judgments and fixed perceptions. Stay loose and open to the potential of something new entering your mind. This card also encourages you to take time to daydream and to use your imagination. Time to allow free-flowing thoughts and to strengthen the more creative side of your mind. Time to trust your intuition and to make choices occasionally from a hunch or a feeling rather than from a well thought out rational plan. Just allow your mind to settle and follow the flow of life. A calm, centered mind can easily align with the flow of higher guidance. Find out what creative, imaginative places your mind can travel to if you let it loose. Expand and free your mind, and the rest will follow. So a lovely way to finish your reading for October, Sagittarius. You have some really nice messages in there, and I hope you find them supportive in these trying times for a lot of people as we move through, sort of hurtle through the end of 2020 and embark on the energies of 2021. So thank you for joining the reading. Remember to check your moon and rising signs. Thank you for subbing the channel, hitting the notification button, and liking the video. Much love, everyone. Be safe, be well. Namaste.